Welcome to the Gridiron Round-Up with your host, Randy Silver. We break down the biggest sports stories for our favorite game, football. Today we have college football week 2 key storylines and games. Let's dive into it for you. The agenda is Texas versus Alabama, by far the biggest game of the weekend. Nebraska versus Colorado, two high-profile coaches, two high-profile programs going at it. In week 2 top 25 preview. Number 11 Texas is facing off against number 3 Alabama. Steve Sarkisian is going back to face his old team, Alabama. Steve used to be the head coach at USC. They did not do well there. He also had some alcohol issues that came up. He got fired, could not get a job interview, could not get a job. He went over to Alabama where Nick Saban hired him to be a offensive assistant coach, and then he became the offensive coordinator. He helped Alabama win the national championship in 2020 season, last championship by Alabama. From there, he paralleled that to the Texas job. He knows Alabama inside and out. Of course, Saban's going to know Steve inside and out. They know each other, so this will be a fun matchup. Last season, they played, and it was a very close game. Alabama won 2019 on the last second field goal. Texas was winning most of the game, but Alabama came through. So here's a picture of them on the Alabama coaching staff. They know each other. It's going to be fun. Only twice since Saban has been at Alabama, going back to 2007, has one of his former assistants beaten him. And both of those times has happened the same season in 2021 with Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher upsetting Alabama, and then Georgia and Kirby Smart taking down Crimson Tide in the college football championship game. So Saban is a whopping 28-2 against his former assistants. Woo! In any sport, that's unreal. Sarkisian's going to his third season at Texas. He's still looking for his first signature win. He's starting to get some high-level recruits like Archie Manning, of the Manning family, who's not quite playing yet. He's the backup, but he will be their starter, if not by the end of the season, starting next season. As we talked about, Alabama beat Texas 2019 last season. Heisman Trophy winner Bryce Young, number 1 pick in the draft. Bryce Young played unreal. Go back and watch those highlights. Was able to come out and get the W. The other big storyline in college football, prime time. Deion Sanders. Deion in Colorado are facing Nebraska. First home game of the season for Colorado. Colorado sold out this game instantly when Deion came back. They sold out the whole season tickets. They did not have the $28 million to pay Deion's salary when he went to Colorado. However, knowing that people would be interested, sponsorships, marketing, etc. would make it up, they made that money up and much more already. So we get Matt Rule versus Deion Sanders. Let's profile them in coaching. Matt Rule is in his first season at Nebraska after being fired from Carolina. He had a 11-27 record there in the NFL. He started 3-0 and then went 3-16 in 2021. Ouch. When they allowed 17 points, they went 1-27. Ouch. Not playing good defense, and they were 32nd in total offense when he was there. And he's known as an offensive guru. He's known as a defensive guru. Offense was supposed to get help. When we look at his career, he's had a pretty good career. He started as a head coach at Temple in 2013, and he took that team from 2-10 to 10-4 multiple years. That took him to Baylor, where he took over a team after the whole scandal that happened there, and he turned that team that was 1-11 to 11-3. So he's been fantastic in college, great recruiter, great coach. That got him the job in Carolina. He was a hot commodity. However, he was not able to perform in Carolina, which is why he was let go. Can he rebuild a Nebraska program that has been downward the past 10, 15, 20 years? Deion Sanders, opposite. He's on the rise. Coached in high school, his son for quite a while, and people before that. Then he went to Jackson State, the historically black college university. Was fantastic there. You can see last year they went 12-1, 8-0 in conference. And now Colorado, he's 1-0. First time coaching in the D1, Of course, his playing career was a fantastic two-way athlete playing football and basketball, and is a football Hall of Famer in the NFL and college. His son, Shedeur Sanders, is the quarterback for Colorado. He is a former 4-star, 5-star athlete, highly recruited. He went to play with his dad over at Jackson State, and now he's at Colorado. His game yesterday was unreal. In one game, 80% completion, 510 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and made some athletic plays. He is on a Heisman watch now. The other Heisman watch is Travis Hunter for Colorado. Cornerback, plus wide receiver. He played both at Jackson State, obviously not as high profile. Today, last week, what did he do? One interception, and it was a high right wheel interception in the end zone, around the end zone. 3 tackles, 1 solo. Wide receiving wise, what did he do? Just 119 yards and 11 receptions. First player in 20 plus years to have 100 plus receiving yards and an interception in the same game in college football. Congrats to him. Heisman Trophy is coming shortly if he keeps that up, which will be a lot. So let's show you the top 25 for the week. Georgia's playing Ball State. Good luck to Ball State. That's not going to be an easy game. Georgia's a 42-point favorite. Ohio State's playing Youngstown State. They are going to probably crush them as well. Then you have Delaware playing Penn State. Penn State should win that game. Notre Dame, NC State. We'll see how that game goes. NC State 1-0, Notre Dame 2-0. NC State goes up and down. That is Russell Wilson's former school. We'll see how they do, but Notre Dame's the favorite, of course. Utah, Baylor. Utah playing another team that's currently in the Big 12, so getting used to what it's like to being there. They beat Florida last week. They're looking really good. Kansas State, Troy should be Kansas State. We just talked about Colorado, Nebraska. Colorado has to be the favorites at home. The line is them plus -3, meaning they're expected to win by 3 points. UNLV, Michigan. Jim Harbaugh is still suspended, second of third game. Michigan should crush that game. Ole Miss, Tulane. Great to see Tulane ranked number 24. Ole Miss in the SEC ranked as a -7.5, so they're the favorite. You got Texas A&M versus Miami. The U is trying to rebuild. 1-0 record against Texas 1-0. They can get this W. They'll move in the top 25. Can Jimbo Fisher start 2-0? Washington against Tulsa. Washington 34-point favorite. It should be an easy game. Tennessee, Austin Peay. Should be an easy game for Tennessee. North Carolina, Appalachian State. North Carolina with the fantastic win last week. Can they get it again? Oklahoma versus SMU. SMU building to get back into the ACC next season. We'll see how they do here. Can they go 2-0 and beat a team moving to the SEC next season? Duke with that crazy win over Clemson. Momentum. Can they go in and beat Lafayette? You would think they would after beating Clemson. Should be an easy game for Duke. We talked about Texas, Alabama. This game is in Alabama. Hostile environment. Can Texas come in and shock the world? Oregon versus Texas Tech. Oregon should be able to win that game relatively easy. LSU, Grambling. LSU should be able to bounce back from their loss against Florida State and win this game. Wisconsin versus Washington State. Wisconsin should be able to power through with running game. Florida State should crush Southern Miss, 31-point favorite, especially after beating LSU. UC Davis versus Oregon State. Oregon State should be able to come through with this one and go 2-0, and good for them in their last season in the Pac-12. What happens? And then rivalry game, USC Stanford, maybe their last time they play in so long because Stanford's going to ACC, USC is going to Big Ten. We don't know when they'll play again. Caleb Williams out there being the dog. This will be a fun game. Do not miss it. So that is your college football week 2 key storylines and games. Come back here next week and we'll break down how the key storylines went, final scores, and of course preview week 3 for you. If you care about NFL, care about NBA or global basketball, FIBA, you care about MMA, UFC, you care about European football, Champions League, MLS, Messi, we have so many shows for you here on Randy Silver TV. Go ahead and check them out, and please subscribe to stay notified when they drop daily. Enjoy college football week 2.